Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for coming out. I'm Deputy Chief Aaron Hughley. I oversee our investigations division and service our agency's public information officer. Standing here with me today is Southfield Chief of Police Elvin V. Barron, Deputy Chief Jeffrey Jagalski, who oversees our patrol division, Detective Lieutenant Mustafa Beasy, from the Prosecutor's Office, Chief of Policy and Training Justin Davis, and our victim, Joshua McCullough. Also here with him to support him is his mother, Myra, that's in the audience here. Today, Chief Barron will update the public regarding the outstanding response time and police work that led to the arrest of two violent suspects who were involved in a carjacking. The incident occurred on Saturday, April 12, 2025 at approximately 4:40 a.m. at the Lakes Apartments complex here in the city of Southfield. I ask that you please hold all of your questions until the conclusion of the press briefing and turn off or mute any cell phones or other electronic devices. Also, please wait to be escorted back down to the main lobby. A press packet is available on the back table, which contains a USB drive of all files presented here today. Also, for record-keeping purposes, we ask that you complete our media sign-in sheet. And without any further delay, Chief Barron.
Yeah, thank you, sir. And I'm going to really start off by commending our victim. You know, Joshua is here. He had the courage to join us, but that courage was displayed the night of the incident. And let me tell you, if it wasn't for this young man who had the ability to compose himself, call 911, give a specific description of the suspects, what they were wearing, what vehicle they were driving. And what I would tell you, at the time he was talking to our dispatcher, we located that vehicle during that phone call, which initiated our vehicular pursuit. So Joshua, I'm going to commend you in front of this audience for your courage. Because why is that important? When you look at the history of these violent suspects, you know that they're working in tandem. How many victims did Joshua's actions prevent these individuals from attacking someone else, which may have led to injury, death, or either somebody experiencing similar trauma? And so for that, young man, you're commended. And before I start my remarks, I'm going to give you an award. It's the Chief's Challenge Coin being presented to you from the Southfield Police Department, Chief of Police, Award of Excellence.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So this incident, started on Saturday, April 12th at approximately 4:40 a.m. Southfield officers responded to the 25,000 block of 12 Mile, which is the Lakes Apartment, on an armed carjacking that just occurred. Southfield dispatch advised responding officers that the victim's silver Dodge Charger with orange and black striping had been taken at gunpoint by two suspects. Note, the victim works part-time as a delivery driver for DoorDash, so simply out there just making a few extra dollars, and then was victimized by these assailants. One of the suspects was wearing a black mask and the other wore a red mask. Southfield officers were in the area of Southbound Lodge and Lasher when they observed a black Jeep Cherokee followed by the stolen Charger traveling at a high rate of speed. The black Jeep Cherokee was reported stolen out of Detroit on April 10th of this year. It appears that the suspects used the stolen Jeep Grand Cherokee to locate, follow, and target our victim. In essence, they stole that vehicle to steal other vehicles. Detectives are actively working to identify the driver of the stolen Jeep Cherokee, which was last seen in the area of southbound Southfield Freeway near 8 Mile. The Dodge Charger, however, our victim's vehicle, continued southbound on Lodge past the Southfield Freeway at speeds in excess of 125 miles an hour. The driver, later identified as 18-year-old Derek Butler, intentionally turned off the vehicle's headlights and taillights around Southfield Lodge and Livernois in the city of Detroit. Butler changed lanes from right to left and drove all three lanes of the freeway to swerve around vehicular traffic that was present. As Butler continued to flee southbound on Lodge near Davison Freeway, traffic conditions began to increase and were moderate in nature. Butler positioned the stolen Dodge Charger in the far right lane for Southfield Lodge to continue through the Davison Freeway when he suddenly veered left onto the eastbound Davidson Freeway. Butler continued eastbound on Davidson Freeway while driving on the right shoulder near the Woodward exit. Due to the seriousness of the offense, Butler's reckless disregard for traffic laws and public safety, Southfield officers utilized a pit maneuver to make intentional contact with the Dodge Charger. And I'm going to stop right here and just remind you that our pit maneuver continues to work for our agency. Stands for Precision Immobilization Technique. Allows us to, again, stop a vehicle by making intentional contact, disabling that vehicle, and allow for us to make these arrests. The pit maneuver caused the stolen Dodge Charger to swerve to its left, overcorrect to its right, drive up an embankment, and spin 180 degrees before coming to rest. Southfield officers conducted a felony stop and arrested Butler, who was the driver. Also, at the time of the arrest, Butler was dressed in all black and wearing a black ski mask and gloves. Southfield officers also arrested a 17-year-old juvenile male who also resides in the city of Detroit. The 17-year-old juvenile was wearing a white winter coat, burgundy hooded sweatshirt that was pulled tight over his face, along with gray gloves and gray sweatpants. As a result of these actions, Butler was charged by the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office, count 1, carjacking, count 2, felony firearms, count 3, carrying a concealed weapon, count 4, fleeing and eluding 4th degree. The 17-year-old juvenile was charged with carjacking and carrying a concealed weapon. The juvenile was petitioned by the Oakland County Children's Village and has a court scheduled for Friday, April 18th of this year. Butler has no CCH, no criminal history, and also the juvenile did not have any reported criminal history. The evidence that we collected at the scene was the victim's wallet that was located on the passenger seat, a loaded Glock 9mm Ghost handgun, and there was no serial number on the slide of that weapon. The serial number was located on the bottom half, was not associated with that weapon. So basically, kind of put different parts together to make this weapon, thereby rendering it a ghost weapon. So we're going to just continue to acknowledge the Oakland County Prosecutor's Office. When we present these charges, they work very quickly to make sure that justice was given to this victim and present the most serious charges we could for carjacking in these offenses. The juvenile, as you all know, goes down a different track. The juvenile is, again, a Wayne County resident. We'll look to see how the charges pan out. So there's a possibility that through the juvenile court process that Wayne County will pick up the case, or if the juvenile is charged as an adult, then maybe it will stay with Oakland County. So at this time, I'm going to show you some evidence that we collected, and also the 911 call, body cam, and dash cam video. As I always say, it's important to continue to show you, no matter how violent these suspects are, we always arrest them with professionalism, and I'm going to always show you how we brought suspects into custody. So we'll start with the 911 audio, so you'll hear this courageous young man stay composed, collect himself, and then deliver timely information that allows us to make this timely arrest. Audio, please.
Southfield 911. Hello. Hi. What's going on?
Oh my gosh. I'm panicking right now, sir.
What's going on?
I was going that sheet, and my car got stolen, sir.
You got carjacked?
Huh?
You got carjacked?
Yes, my car has got stolen, sir. I had a gun pointed at me, sir.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
Which way did they go? Oh, where are you currently at?
Oh my God. Where do we go on with I am. But
What, 12? All right. Well,
that's cool. It is a carjacking.
yeah.
In my car, because I have this.
Yeah.
One.
What kind of vehicle is it?
It's a Charger.
Charger?
Yeah, it's a quick Dodge Charger. It's silver and has a horn. It's white strike. It's not in the middle. It's to the driver's side. So it's kind of like not in the middle, but it's an orange stripe. It has orange verbos. If one guy was in the driver's seat, they both had masks on. One had red and one had black. But they both got into the car. One got into the car, it was trying to reverse, he hit the curb, and then the other was running. So he stopped and turned to come to the gun, and I started running.
So we have the same walk here. Officers are pursuing the car. It's a second, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
They'll see you next time.
And this right here, just photos for you to also include in your respective reports of evidence discovered at the scene. Ski mask, gloves, handgun, all things used by these carjackers. All right, now we're going to move into the dash cam video. Lights, please.
Airport, speed 130, southbound Lodge.
So we're ready to almost wreck. We're through Motor Drive, okay, southbound.
Heading southbound Lodge, Motor Drive, almost there now.
Street access of 130. Can you notify MSD and DPD?
We're really back down.
Make sure you're open bar mark center lane. Traffic starting to pick up a little bit more. Not gonna be fraction 7 hard left.
Yeah, I'm at Davison, getting off at Davison. 6, 1050, 1050. Vehicle's approaching Woodward. I'm about to attempt to take him out. Do I have anyone with me?
61, I couldn't make the turn. I got some left.
We are headed off to Woodward now. Pit. 1050, 1050. Shoot!
Occupants are being compliant at this point, at least 2 occupants. At least 2 occupants being compliant.
You see they're still wearing a mask at the time of arrest. Felony traffic stop, ordering all occupants out and giving them instructions on how to surrender. That's your juvenile right there, 17 years old. Neither was injured during the pit maneuver.
Southfield later cars resumed on track, pursuit time over in custody. Just want to add to the run didn't know if he was involved or not. Got the plate there at 300. 162401. There's not nothing.
Now we're going to switch to body camera. Again, we're going to always show every aspect, prevent any false allegations on this agency. Audio kick in momentarily.
Driver! Open the door with your left hand! Step out of the car with your hands up! Step out of the car with your hands up! Turn around! Walk backwards! Walk backwards!
Walk backwards towards us! Keep
Walk
coming! Keep
backwards.
coming! You got hands? Alright. It's all that gun point. I got it. Interlace your fingers. Interlace your fingers. All I did is just think we said we told you. Yeah.
Red lights, please. Give a moment
Thank you.
to get established.
Good to go, sir. Thanks.
So we're going to continue to highlight, in summary, the courageous efforts of Joshua, certainly the Southfield police officers who you saw utilize their training, conducted a pursuit using our pit maneuver tactics with the ability to end this police chase so that our community is not subjected to any more risk. And so I want to thank you all for being here, and at this time I open up the floor for questions.
Chief, how long were you on, or how long were officers on that high-speed chase?
So the chase lasted approximately 4 minutes. It started again around 12 Mile and it ended in Detroit, Davidson, and Woodward area.
And how were the suspects able to get into the victim's car in the first place?
Well, he was carjacked. Matter of fact, Joshua, come on up.
The way and how they were able to get into my car, I told the officer on the scene that my sunroof was open. All my windows were up, but my sunroof was completely open. I don't know if they jumped through the sunroof, but I did hear my car alarm go off, and that's only when the door is open or shut. So,
You could hear the panic in your voice on that 911 call.
yes.
What was going through your mind the time you were speaking with police?
I was just scared, but just happy that I'm alive. That's all I can say.
Could you see the suspects driving away with your car?
No, because the male on the outside of the vehicle, after he pointed a gun at me, he made me run away. So that's when I ran, and I heard my vehicle speeding off when I was around the corner, like in between some bushes and cars.
Joshua, what was it like watching that video of the police chase?
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking seeing it. Like I said, I'm happy I'm alive. Just so much hard work went into that car, but my life is more important. And it's just heartbreaking, just just acknowledging that it's me. You know, I'm such a good person, and you know, I count my blessings every day. It's just scary.
Can you tell us, you know, we can only imagine being in that situation, how fast it must have happened. I mean, were you able to even consciously think, observe, but cooperate, let them take what they need to take, keep yourself as safe as you possibly can, or, you know, what little control you can offer in that situation? Can you tell us what, if you were thinking those things, or was it all too fast and a blur?
Yeah, it was. At first, I wasn't expecting it, but once I was in the moment and I seen what was going on, you know, everything was going really fast. You know, like to them trying to get away with my car, to him running over a curb because he put the car in drive and ran over a curb, and then when I looked to my right, the male on the outside pointed a gun right at me, and how stiff he was with his hand, and it was so dark I couldn't tell if it was a gun, but how stiff he was, you know, I just ran. I didn't think about it, so you know.
I'm assuming in your mind it's like, just give them what they want and let them get out of here.
Yeah, yes, for sure. The car is not worth my life. Like I said, I worked really, really hard for that car, but it's not worth my life. The only thing that I can say that I was thinking about, that I will say, is I'm thankful that I'm alive because my girlfriend is 13 weeks pregnant and I'm 20 years old. So the only thing I was thinking about was me not being there for my kid. Yeah.
Give Joshua a break at this time. Continue again just to commend him. You know, Joshua knew it was important. You know, this is a healing process to stand before you. And this man continues to show this community courage. His mother's out here supporting him as well. It's emotional for her. And so we just want to thank the media, number one, with your respectful questions. I really appreciate that. You know, taking your time with Joshua. This is traumatic. And like I said, he also saved other people from going through this type of hurt and pain by his quick actions. And let me say something else about Joshua that you will find interesting. Despite being carjacked, he still continued and delivered the package to the family that was waiting on their respective items from DoorDash. Isn't that amazing? That he still thought enough of the people who were waiting on their items to deliver it after just being carjacked. It just shows you the testament who Joshua is as a man, who his mother is, as it relates to how she brought this young man up. And also we've learned that he's also an expecting father. So this is huge. Yes, sir.
I had two for you. Do you have any idea how the suspects targeted him? Meaning, it's not like they called in the DoorDash order and set him up. I mean, they just happened to be there. And do you know the how they were all set in that circumstance?
Yeah, so what we've learned when we look at violent carjackers and even individuals who do straight steals, they generally operate in the wee hours of the night, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. And then Joshua has a vehicle that's very popular. So it probably stood out like a sore thumb. You know, all of these individuals were initially inside of that Grand Cherokee looking for victims, and they happened upon Joshua. And then they followed him into the city of Southfield, and then they waited at the right opportunity, if you will, when he was exiting the vehicle to make his delivery, and then they inflicted this trauma on him by putting that gun in his face and then taking his vehicle.
So you think they targeted the vehicle and pursued him not knowing he was door dashing or what he was doing?
Correct. I think they followed him a while, and depending on how many stops he had that day, they may have discovered what he was doing, unknown on that. But I do believe, again, they saw a vehicle that's very popular, in high demand, and he became a target at that point.
My last question is, and you said it multiple different ways at different briefings, what he did in a victim's circumstance was perfect. Try and alleviate any kind of risk to yourself, cooperate, let them take what doesn't matter in the end game. Be observant, contact law enforcement. I mean, it's kind of textbook what a victim should do.
Yeah. You know, Joshua displayed, as I said before, courage. He thought about his family, so he complied with their demands, which is very important. You know, some individuals will have items such as cars, jewelry, or money. They want to fight for those things. It's just not worth it. Turn those things over. Get to a phone, call 911 as soon as possible. Allow law enforcement to intervene. And in this case, you see, as I always highlight the great work of the Southfield Police Department, I'm going to keep doing that despite any displeasure with that. They're out here. You talking about 4 o'clock in the morning. They're not tucked away somewhere. They're riding around as directed, as instructed, paying attention to what goes on in our city, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then this senseless carjacking occurs, and they were right on it. As I said before, While Joshua was talking to 911, we picked this vehicle up and started the pursuit at that point, ultimately bringing both these individuals into custody.
I did think of one more.
Yeah.
I apologize. Regarding the 17-year-old, as a layperson, I wonder why he wouldn't be charged as an adult outright. What kind of consideration? You mentioned considerations may be being given, but why not just charge him as an adult flat out and just move forward with that?
So I can tell you that there was an adjournment of the preliminary hearing at the juvenile court. That decision is being made at the prosecutor's office. It's going to be made on Friday. We're working in conjunction with the Southfield Police Department to make the best decision based on the facts of the law. I would just like to reiterate what the chief has said. The bravery that this young man exhibited that day is pretty amazing. He was cool, calm, and collected. I'd also like to tell his mother that she raised a good kid. To say the things that he did, to handle that situation the way he did, is exactly what you want to see as a mother or father. Your child doing what they were told to do, what they were asked to do, and how you, I'm sure, worked with him all the time to get him to react in this type of situation. Congratulations to you for that.
Yeah, just continue to highlight the mother. You know, this is a great family. You know, just speaking to her, the love she has for her son. She chose not to go on camera. Certainly wanted the spotlight to be on her son. She wanted him to stand up and tell his story and be here to support him. So we're going to continue to give you a round of applause as well for, again, your brave actions and getting your son here. His car's gone. What he worked hard for is gone. Certainly we got insurance, it'll be replaced, but she made sure she was able to bring him to tell the story.
Just want to get a timeline real quick. I know this happened so early in the morning. You mentioned 4 a.m. Was Joshua just getting done with his shift?
Well, that's a quick question for Joshua.
So yes, I was about done. You know, when I DoorDash, I try to do as much as I can for as long as I can on the weekend. You know, I work night shifts, so that was the reason of this time of me DoorDashing at this time. I was almost about done DoorDashing. I was going to get some food, but unfortunately that I wasn't able to drive my car home. And to answer your question, sir, about 2 minutes away from the address that I was supposed to drop the items off at, I seen a car do a U-turn really fast. It was an all black car, but I thought it was a police officer just because of how hot my car is and what time it was. But I knew I wasn't speeding or anything. And this same vehicle turned into this subdivision, which was the subdivision I turned in. I didn't know the subdivision was that long and that big. So when I parked my car and got out my car, I stood in front of my car for about like 4 or 5 minutes trying to figure out where her like door was. So that was like the most scariest part. They were kind of like waiting on me, but I seen the vehicle pass me again when I was in front of my car. But I didn't kind of think of nothing of it, you know. I was just trying to, like I said, finish my dashes, do my job, and complete the order. So.
What were you delivering?
I was delivering a Dash Mart, and the Dash Mart was just gummy bears. It's funny. It was just gummy bears, but after I called the lady, after the police, I seen her walking to me, and I just wanted to make sure I got her Dash.
Why are you here today? Meaning, a lot of people through this experience would want to kind of just stay in the background a little bit potentially, but yet your story kind of tells people and reminds people how to react, hopefully that they won't be victimized, you know, more so than you were. But is that part of it, or why are you here?
That's a hard question. The only thing I can say was when this incident happened to me, I have a lot of friends that I have influenced to get the same car as me, and they've done it. So I wanted to show people and to let people know that like it's serious and it's dangerous out here. Me being a person, I'm so cool, so chill, everybody. I would have never expected this to happen to me, but I just want my friends and people out there to know, like, you know, just to be careful, even if you have just a regular car, but just being careful is the most important part.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here and that you're safe. It takes a lot of courage to get up here and relive all that.
Thank you.
It's courage at its finest. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Any more questions from me?
As we know, this is a single event for those suspects, or is it something that we suspect, or we think they might?
Your preliminary information suggests this will be a single event. Certainly the investigation is still moving forward. As we do investigations, we reach out to other agencies, other cities, to see if these individuals may match descriptions from other crimes in other areas as well. So that's still ongoing. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.